Welcome back. It is Wednesday, March 13th in the NBA. My three favorite picks are on the way. What's going on, everyone? It's Logan from Calling Our Shot. Still just me, solo vids, holding down the fort. But yesterday, we can talk about yesterday. I held down the fort really nicely. A 3-in-1 day. The spread picks absolutely smacked. Let's do a quick recap of those. We had the Pacers plus 7.5. Keep the points. Outright win for the Pacers in OKC, a rare home loss for the Oklahoma City Thunder. We love to see that one. And then we also had the Spurs team total under. That one looked a little sweaty in the first quarter. I had Austin texting me like, "Oh, dude, that was a donation." And I was like, "No, just wait. This is a bad offense. They'll do what they do." They did go under. And then we had the Kings plus 2.5. Keep the points again. They blew out the Milwaukee Bucks. We love to see that. Our only loss of the day was the damn Brunson whisperer, Austin. He could not come through with the Brunson. But it wasn't his fault. It was not his fault. I stand by the pick that he made. It was the Sixers' fault for not even being able to be competitive in that game. If that was a competitive game, Brunson does likely go over. And then we would have had a 4-0 sweep. But, hey, man, that's the nature of betting player props. Sometimes you're on the wrong end of the National Blowout Association. That's okay, though. We take the profit, and we continue our climb towards the 50-unit mark, up 42.17 units. Let's keep it going today. Now, speaking of Austin, though, and his player props, we're bouncing back today. Hopefully this game is not a blowout. It's a 1-point spread, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was, though. De'Aaron Fox of the Kings, over 26.5 points, minus 120 odds on DraftKings, your best value there. Also playable to 27.5. Now, this is Austin's favorite player prop of the day. Again, he's the player prop guy. I'm the spreads and totals guy. I do not like player props myself, but that's his specialty. I stay in my lane, right? Now, we've backed Fox a few times over the last few weeks, and he's delivered each time. One of those times came against the Lakers, who he once again plays today. Fox scored 44 points on 19 of 32 field goal attempts last week versus the Lakers. He's now hit this over in 8 of his last 9 games versus the Lakers, including all 3 this season with 37, 28, and 44 points. He's also attempted 20-plus field goal attempts in 5 straight games versus the Lakers. Fox has averaged 30.2 points per game over his last 10 games, going over in 8 of those 10. He's attempted 20-plus field goal attempts in 7 of those 10 games, 16-plus field goal attempts in all 10. He's had elite volume. That's the narrative we're preaching here. He's had elite volume, and that likely does not change today. Anthony Davis plays drop coverage. This should lead to Fox in the mid-range where we want him getting to. He plays a lot versus the second unit too, against the Lakers second unit, and the Lakers second unit is not the strongest defensively. So hopefully Fox gets a lot of looks there. And if you're concerned about the back end of the back-to-back, you probably shouldn't be, because Fox's last 4 games on no rest, 41, 30, 27, and 33 points, 24 field goal attempts in all 4 games. The volume's been there. The efficiency's been there as well. Hopefully he can deliver today. Fox only played 32 minutes last night due to a blowout. We were on the right side of that. The Lakers are favored here, though, and I could see them winning the game, forcing Fox to have more, of aggressive mentality, especially in the second half of this game with his team trailing. And that's normally when a guy like De'Aaron Fox really turns it on. This line, in Austin's opinion, should be 28.5. He thinks we're getting value at the line we're getting, and he also does think that Fox should continue to cook in this matchup. Hopefully, De'Aaron Fox does come through for the kids, get the player props back on track, and hopefully we're riding with De'Aaron Fox. Hopefully that game's not a blowout, right? 1-point spread in the NBA sometimes means blowout, but hey, the Kings on the back end of a back-to-back. I like the analysis there for Austin. Now let's go to my first of 2 spread picks. I'm taking the Heat +5, kind of a nasty pick, minus 115 odds on BetMGM, your best value there. Also playable at 4.5 as well. Look, this line opened at 2.5. So I like the value that we're getting on the Miami Heat because, as I always mentioned, I like to see where the opening line is, and I like to kind of assess where it's currently at and if we're getting any value on that. Yesterday, we actually got some really, really good what the kids call CLV, closing line value, on our 2 spread picks, Kings and Pacers, because the lines ended lower than what we got them at. This is not one of those situations I think that's going to happen unless Nikola Jokic gets randomly rolled out, but I don't see that happening. Now, the Heat are coming off 3 straight losses, none of them more embarrassing to the Sunday loss versus the Wizards. Oh, my gosh. I watched that game, unfortunately, because we had the over in that game, And it's not an overreaction to say that this is a must-win game for Miami to turn their season around. I've always mentioned you got the road Nuggets coming into your place. This has to be Miami's best shot. You just cannot roll over, and you cannot be uncompetitive in this game. I think this is the spot to get the Heat on the road. Denver 13, 18-1 against the spread. So if you've been betting Denver on the road, you're losing money on the air. The strength of this Nuggets team recently has been points in the paint, but the Heat on the season are second best and fewest field goal made allowed in the paint. Miami's interior defense has been pretty good. They weren't the best against the Wizards in their last game, but they still contested a lot of shots. The Wizards just did make a lot of shots in that game. Miami in their most recent matchup versus the Wizards, I just couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing. So bad offensively. They couldn't make a three to save their life against Washington. They missed several easy layups, free throws, and missed mid-range shots. Anything that they could do poorly, they did poorly. They only shot 30% from three. Now on the season, they're a better three-point shooting team than that. I'm not saying that they're like the Indiana Pacers, the juggernaut offensively, but they are a lot better than what we've been seeing recently. How sharp Miami's offense today depends a lot on how Jimmy Butler wants to play today. Jimmy Butler, to me, just takes some of these regular season games so unseriously. He just kind of stands around, tries to get his teammates involved. And while that's a good thing to get your teammates involved, sometimes you got to go takeover mode, Jimmy. If he's aggressive today, I can live with another day where it's in his teammates' hands to make shots. And Jimmy Butler, I think, gives them a really good chance to win this game. We've seen it time and time again. The Heat are one of those weird teams where they know when they need to turn it on and when they have to turn it on. And there's no better opportunity than today with the Denver Nuggets coming into your place. I mean, it's now or never, guys. On the season, Miami 5th in three-point percentage at home, while Denver is 18th in three-point percentage allowed on the road. There should be looks there. And the question is, can you make them? Duncan Robinson, I need better than what I've seen recently. Hopefully he's able to make some threes. Caleb Martin, can you make some threes for us? That'd be really nice. But on 2 days rest, it's now or never. This is the spot for the Heat. It's now or never. As home underdogs, we're taking the points. I told you guys, I really do like taking underdogs in the NBA. It's one of I hate chalky favorites. I think the Nuggets are a pretty chalky favorite. I mean, you're getting them at a shortish price. Give me the Heat +5 in this one, as I see them coming out inspired in this game and covering the spread. And if they don't, then I'll just throw them in my graveyard and say, I don't know when I can trust this team, because you know what? This is the spot for them. Now let's go to our third and final pick of the day. It's going to be another spread. Indiana Pacers -3.5, -115 odds on BetMGM, your best value there. Now, I also would play this one at 4 if your book has the line at 4. The Pacers treated us really great yesterday. I mean, that was a really fun game to watch, going into Oklahoma City and handling business and winning that game outright. Now they find themselves on 0 rest, back at home versus Chicago, and I'm still getting the much better team on a short line. You can argue with me all you want. If you think the Bulls really can hold a candle to this Pacers team when the Pacers are playing how they played last night, well, go argue with a wall then. No, the price is low because Indiana is just 2-9 straight up on 0 days rest. Now, if that stat scares you enough, then either take the Bulls and fade me and go down in comments, tell me you're fading me, or leave this game alone, because I see value in betting the Pacers on this short line. Does a 0 rest scare me? It's in the back of my mind, but it's not enough to scare me off of this pick. I loved what I saw from Indiana last night against OKC, and I think there should be carryover to this game, especially offensively and defensively. They were so sharp in that game. That's like what the Pacers could play up to their potential. I was wondering, how much Benedict Mathurin being out would really affect this team. Last night didn't affect them at all. They didn't miss a beat. When the Bulls punch above their weight offensively, they tend to fold, as seen against the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks went into Chicago and gave them a nice, good butt whooping, and it really was never even close. Why? Because Chicago just doesn't have the offense to keep up with them. At home, this Indiana offense is a juggernaut. First in points scored and field goal percentage, second in three-point percentage. They could, if they're playing up to full strength, run the Bulls out of the gym. It's no secret that the Bulls are just like one of those discombobulated offenses. I've mentioned it before when I faded them. if you've ever watched them, there's just no rhythm. It's either DeMar DeRozan ISO, sometimes a random Vucevic top of the key three or Vucevic hook shot. And the role players on that team, like if Ayo Dosunmu threes aren't raining, I don't know where the points are coming from. Kobe White has to be a hero every game for them to really stand a chance. So I think the Bulls might be able to limit Indiana a little bit offensively, but I have no confidence in Chicago's offense to score, because I know the calling card of this Bulls team is obviously defense. Look at this though. Chicago's only averaging 106 points in their last 3 games. I mean, if they come in here with a 106-point type effort against Indiana, I would gladly take my chances on the Pacers to be able to score, 110 plus, because that's what it would take to cover the spread in a low-scoring game. And I do think this is a lower-scoring game, just given the back end of the back-to-back for Indiana. But what I really liked last night too, and it's not Indiana's calling card, was their defense. They were swarming last night. They were great in transition against a really good transition offense in Oklahoma City, and they were great at help defense too, which a team like Oklahoma City they have shooters everywhere. So your help defense is put under a microscope in that one. They were so great last night. Carry over that today, and if the Pacers play like that, for me, I'm just going to blindly take them on value alone, because we are getting value, in my opinion, with this short spread on the back end of a back-to-back. But I really do think the Pacers are a really solid bet to make in there. If they break my heart tonight, oh well. But I got to fade the Bulls. I hate what I see from that team. So that will do it for the picks. Let's do a quick little mini recap of the picks. We had De'Aaron Fox's over. That was Austin's favorite player prop of the day over in points. Then we had Heat +5. And then we had Pacers -3.5. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Austin should be back soon. He's been traveling back to the States. But hopefully in the meantime, we can go 3-0. Yesterday we were robbed of the sweep, but I really do like the picks for today. This has been Logan, and I'll catch you on the next one.